In this video, you are going to see the full camera review of the Motorola Edge 70 Fusion mobile phone. I have been using it as my primary device for a few weeks now. You're going to see the daytime photos and videos, the nighttime photos and videos, next how good this mobile phone is for content creation, then extra features we get inside the camera app, and finally the overall verdict of these cameras. So let's start. First, have a look at the camera specifications for better understanding. On the back, it has dual cameras. One is 50 megapixel with an aperture of f1.8. This one has a sensor size of 1/1.56 inch. It has features like multi-directional PDAF and OIS. The second camera is a 13 megapixel ultra wide with an aperture of f2.2. It has a 120 degrees field of view with a sensor size of 1/3.0. This also has PDAF. On the front, it's a 32 megapixel camera with an aperture of f2.2 and a sensor size of 1/3.14 inch. There is no autofocus option available for the front camera. You can record videos up to a maximum of 4K 30 FPS using both front and back facing cameras. Now, here are some snaps taken during daytime conditions. Each shot is clicked at different zoom levels. You can observe the text below for reference. The photos are looking decent up to the 2x zoom range. After that, the quality gradually degrades. After every shot, it takes some time to process and enhance the image. You won't get exactly what you see on the screen. These are the front-facing photos. The overall picture quality looks decent, nothing to complain about considering the price of this mobile phone. These are the front-facing camera portrait shots. You can observe closely that the edge detection is not perfect, and apart from the subject, it keeps some other things in focus. The problem with Motorola mobiles is that the camera optimization is not that good. Even I tested with other pictures also. As you can see here, it's the same. These are the shots taken with the back-facing camera. We get different focal lengths to click these portrait shots with the back-facing camera. One is 24mm, another one is 35mm, and final one is 50mm. And also do note that guys, I updated this mobile phone to the latest software version before testing these cameras. But still, the edge detection has many errors. These are some macro photos, and I can confidently say that these are looking great while preserving details. This is the panorama shot. This also came out pretty good in daytime conditions. This is the ultra resolution photo and the normal photo. You can see the differences here. Now have a look at the videos recorded outdoors during the daytime. This is the video recording from the front facing camera at outdoor conditions. Sun is like this side guys, so directly light is coming from this. If I go opposite to the sun, you can observe how well it is adjusting the overall color, I mean the exposure and everything. So yeah, this is what the footage is going to look like, and the audio you're listening is directly coming from the internal microphone. You can judge how good it is, and if you want, you can increase or decrease the brightness as well for like while recording the video, but you cannot swap the cameras like front to back or back to front while recording. So yeah, this is what it looks like if in case you are creating a vertical format videos for YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels, anything like that. Right now you are seeing the video of dual capture video option, and you can observe how good the video quality is. Currently the back facing camera is at 1x. If you want, you can zoom up to 6x, like this much. The 0.5x option is not available for this one. I mean, you cannot shift from 1x to 0.5x. If you want, you can swap the cameras like this as well, and you can adjust the framing, I mean where the picture-in-picture PIP can be there. You can swap like this as well. And one more thing, the audio you're listening is directly coming from the internal microphone. This is the video recording at 0.5x mode. If you want to zoom in, you can zoom all the way up to 0.9x. You cannot go beyond that. If in case you want more zoom, before hitting the record button, you need to select the 1x option, and later you can change it. So this is how it works in this mobile phone. This is the video recording from the back-facing camera at 4K 30 FPS, and I'm walking in the terrace. You can observe the stabilization as well guys, and let's check with the autofocusing how fast it is. So see, it is missing sometimes focus and hunting for it. It happens to me every time, even after updating the mobile to the latest security patch. This is not the first time guys. See, again it is hunting for the focus. This is going to be even worse if you are recording in low light or nighttime conditions. Yeah, those have some mixed results. Now have a look at the camera app interface and the options we get. We get a lot of options in the camera app for both photos and videos. On the top, you can see the options to change the aspect ratio, flashlight and Google Lens. If you go to the settings, you can see some more options. By default, I don't know why the front photo resolution is set to standard instead of high. I changed it to high and after that only I started testing this mobile phone. And below we get some more options and gestures. If you go to portrait mode, you can adjust some options based on your requirements. Next, if you swipe and go to the more section, you get additional options to use. Pro photo mode is available, but there is no pro mode for videos. We also get the horizon lock, where even if you tilt the camera, it stays in a locked position. But the quality is not that good because it only supports up to 1080p 30 fps. Next, the slow motion option is also there and it supports either full HD 120 fps or HD 240 fps. When it comes to photo and video editing, everything is handled through the Google Photos app. There is no dedicated camera app in this Motorola mobile phone still. Also, we don't get any portrait video mode option in this mobile phone. Now, have a look at the videos recorded in indoor conditions to understand what it looks and feels like if you are buying this mobile for content creation. This is the video recording from the front-facing camera at 4K 30 fps. That too, the audio is coming from the internal microphone. If in case you want, yes, you can connect the external microphones as well. And once you connect the external microphone, you will see an option at the top side where you can switch between the internal and the external microphone. That option is very useful. And coming to the video quality, for me in the screen it is looking good, but when I edit the videos I will also know whether it is okay or not. And by the way guys, I didn't turn on any light, I mean the external light here. I'm just sitting in front of the camera and here the window is there so that the natural light is coming towards hitting my face and everywhere here. So this is what the footage is going to looks like. Also we get the screen flash option. I'll turn on so that you will see what is the difference. So now I turned on the screen flash. So are there any difference between the footage before and after? Let me know in the comments. Even I also don't know until I edit this video. But yeah, this is how the footage is going to look like. If you use the external microphones, the audio is going to be much better than the internal microphone. So that tip I can give. So for content creation, yeah, you can use like this. This is the video recording from the back-facing camera at 4K 30 fps. The audio you're listening is coming from directly the microphone. If you want, you can attach the external microphone as well. There is no problem in that, guys. And come to the lighting, I'm not using any external light here. Whatever the light in this scene you are observing is directly coming like from the natural light. Opposite side, a window is there. From that directly light is coming, and this is what the footage is going to looks like. And we can record maximum at 4K 30 fps. There is no 60 fps option is there. I highly suggest record at 4K only, even though 1080p option is available. If in case you want, you can scale it down to 1080p if it's needed, and even you can do zoom in and zoom outs without losing quality. Now we will test how the focusing is going to be. Even I also don't know how it is going to be focused because the screen is on the other side, right? So I cannot see whether it is focusing this object or not. So yeah, this is what the footage looks like in indoor conditions, that too in daytime without using any external light. This video you are seeing is recording at 4K 30 fps by using the front facing camera, and currently I am in a room where the lighting is not too much, guys, but still it's somewhat there. Actually I turned on the screen flash option, that's why the footage is looking somewhat decent. If I turn it off, this is what going to be the footage looks like. Again I'm turning it on. So yeah, this is the main difference you can observe. If in case you are creating content, especially short form content for YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels, yes, this is what the footage is going to looks like in this like type of, I can say like 50% lighting and 50% dark conditions. Those are looking good with natural lighting. Now it's time to observe nighttime photos and videos. These are some random outdoor shots with artificial lighting conditions. These are looking good, but what's more noticeable is that these are heavily processed images. You can observe the over sharpening of edges and other elements. These are the photos taken with the front camera in no light conditions. The light here is coming only from the screen. Even for videos, the screen flash option is available. You are going to see that in a bit. These are the photos taken with the back camera at different zoom levels. Due to the aperture differences, the overall image lighting varies from picture to picture. Up to 2x, the photos are okay and decent, but beyond that zoom range, it's not good. Whatever the image you are observing at the maximum zoom range is overly processed to achieve those results. If you move the camera slightly while clicking the photos at different zoom levels, it results in motion blur without proper details. Now have a look at the videos recorded during nighttime.
Hey guys, this is the video recording with 4K 30 FPS, that too in 0.5x mode in pitch dark conditions. I turned on the flashlight, so this is what it looks like in pitch dark condition. Currently it is in 0.5x. Let's focus on this block. This is 1x. You can see clear shift. This is 2x and this is maximum 6x. This is what the footage looks at maximum zoom while recording videos. Again, this is at 1x. This is the video recording at 4K 30 FPS by using the front facing camera in pitch dark condition. Whatever the light you are seeing on my face is directly coming from the screen, guys. This is like crazy and most awaited feature in Samsung mobile phones. In Motorola we have this feature, so it's really going to be helpful if in case you're recording videos in pitch dark condition like this environment. In lighting conditions, fine, it's completely okay, but in pitch dark conditions this is gonna like a lifesaver. And you can also observe the stabilization as well and the audio quality as well. I'm not at all using any external mic here.
Finally, here is the overall verdict of the cameras of the Motorola Edge 70 Fusion. The cameras are doing their job well during daytime conditions up to 2x zoom range. For recording videos, especially for content creation, it's also pretty decent on this mobile phone. But for nighttime conditions, it's not a strongly recommended device. The edge detection while capturing portrait photos is not good at all. Yes, we do get extra features that are highly appreciable on this mobile phone, especially the screen flash option for both the front camera photos and videos. But if the hardware and processing are not that great, then these all added features don't add too much value. Looking at the price of this mobile phone, all I can say is that during daytime photos and videos up to 2x zoom range, this is good. In other areas, there are a lot of errors and issues. So that's the overall camera review of this mobile phone from my side, guys. Share your thoughts in the comment box about this mobile phone. Also, check the description box for more testing videos of this mobile phone. And one last thing, like and share this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it to get instant notifications whenever a new video uploaded on this channel.